Right then, so is it going to be Jamie Gittens?
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yeah, so breaking news coming out of Sky Germany regarding Chelsea's offer for Jamie Gittens, the winger that we've long been linked with. Of course, we'd also been linked with the perhaps not so exciting Alejandro Garnacho of Manchester United, and of course Nico Williams, who David Ornstein and other athletic people kept saying his name recently. I uploaded a video earlier today on him, but Sky Sports Germany, and of course Gittens plays in Germany for Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund, so there's a close link there. We've even got a player on loan there in Carney Chukwuemeka, who they really like. Chelsea enjoy an okay relationship with Borussia Dortmund, but there's been an offer made, and a salary offer. And I'm inclined to believe this geezer. It's obviously Sky Sports, never 1000% accurate, but there's figures been spoken about. So in today's video, I'm going to, cite the information from Sky Germany, and then we're going to do a clean sweep on the young man, X value, FB, ref, understat, look at if he's going to really be the solution. Also, it's worth mentioning as well, I am okay with Jadon Sancho, and that's another player that we could include in the deal. If we buy it, we are going to buy him for 25 million. Maybe we'll send him back to United and pay a £5 million fee, fine, should I say, for that. But apparently there's no loan fee, so that would almost represent a loan fee. I'm not entirely sure on that. But again, if we do buy Sancho, it's been reported if he doesn't make it at Chelsea, he'd like to go back to Borussia Dortmund. And I mean, come on, there's surely a deal to be done there. They play in the same ruddy position. But my speaking of position, mine remains the same. I would like a new left-sided winger, but I'm also okay with Jadon Sancho staying. I've sort of been very firm on that opinion. I quite like Sancho. I feel like the pressure needs to be off him, and he doesn't necessarily need to be a starter, but for that low money, and provided he doesn't have insane wage demands at Chelsea, I mean, he'd have to accept a lot less at Dortmund as well, lest we forget. I'm okay, and Tyreek George, he's not going anywhere. Tyreek George, apparently neither is Joshua Chiampong. So these are great young options. The right side does seem to be locked down. Of course, we know Cole Palmer can do a job there. There is a chance Chelsea sell Noni Madueke if an offer comes in where Chelsea double their money. Pedro Neto, for me, is the guy. I was super excited when we signed him. Of course, that winner he scored the other day in the Fulham derby was an absolute sensational winner, and just a demonstration of how good Neto can be. He can be amazing. He can play, of course, right wing's preferred position, where he's probably not played anywhere near enough for Chelsea this season because of trying to get Noni on the pitch, who was sort of scoring the odd goal. But in terms of quality superstar, I always say it, man. Neto starts for that Portuguese attack. An amazing plethora of a talent. He starts for them. He's 25. He's a superstar. He has the capacity to do Galactico superstar things. He's Chelsea's right winger. Yeah? Unless we find a way to try and get both Esteval and Palmer on the pitch. But for the moment, in the immediate future, that's how I see it. The left side, Noni can deputise behind Neto. The left side, we're all assuming it's going to be difficult with Mudryk. We're following that story. Tyreek George can do stuff. If Sancho stays, you can do stuff. But there is a position up for grabs, a starting position. And with the investment being spoken about here, which I'm about to share with you, Jamie Gittens could fill that void. So I just wanted to start the video with this contextualized run-up to sort of explain what's going on, what players we've got, how I feel about them. And we need a proper number 9. I would be happy with Liam Delap. I'd be very happy with an Osimhen. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I'd be interested to see an Hugo Ekitike or whatever. Yeah. And I'd be happy for Jackson to remain as a sort of rotational option, because I quite like him as a player generally, but not as a Chelsea starting striker. So, with that run-up, we're going to jump into the Jamie Gittens story. A little bit of housework. Thank you for hanging out with me today. If you want to support the content, it's just easy. Just drop a like and subscribe. Ha! Simple. Takes a second of your time. And I appreciate it. Alright then. So this is coming from Sky Sports Germany, like I said here, just for reference so you can see it. It is by Patrick Berger and Jonas Gerhardt. One of several options is to return to the UK for Jamie Gittens after a strong first half of the Bundesliga season, 7 goals and 4 assists. Jamie Gittens is falling short of his own expectations in the second half of the season. He sounds proper Chelsea. Bring him in. He already fits the bill. Strong first half of the season, falling off the second half. Bring him home. The rising star of the first half of the season lost his starting place under Kovac. Yeah, but, Dortmund have been pony of late. The lack of playing time also contributes to Gittens' unease with his overall situation at Dortmund after 5 years in black and yellow jersey. The right footer, there you go, left-sided right footer that we're looking for, could be taking the next step. According to Sky, one club that has already expressed very clear interest in the 20-year-old is Chelsea Football Club. The Blues believe the talented English player like Gittens should be playing in the Premier League, basically. Chelsea are already in talks with the player's representatives to explore the transfer. The 6th place Premier League side, all right, hopefully not for long, are tempting the attacker with a generous salary of 6 to 7 million euros. He currently earns around 3 million euros per year at Dortmund. So we're going to double his salary. Now, I'm going to pause this and find out how much that is in money I can understand in reference to other players. Right. If my calculations are correct, after converting the 6 million euros into 5.123 million pounds, and then dividing that by 12 months, dividing that by 4 weeks, that's just, it's £106,000 per week. So that's doubling his salary, and that's on the conservative side, £106,000 per week. And that's probably basic without the Champions League bonuses, and there's probably goal incentives and bonuses. And we're going to look at the player stats in just a second, so keep your powder dry, mate. Yeah, let's just round it up because if it's a conservative, 107, maybe even up to £110,000 per week. Cole Palmer's on 120. I mean, for context, this is like, Mason Mount earns 2.5 that amount at United. Kai Havertz is like 300,000, like 3 times the amount at Arsenal. It's still a conservative amount, but it's a lot of money for the young man, and it would still be saying, this is the floor of your incentive-based contract where you can earn a lot more money. So, Nico Williams, again, if you haven't watched that video that I uploaded earlier, I'd urge you to go check it out. He's currently on, again, 250,000. So, we're offering a pay rise to Gittens of 105 to 110,000 pounds. And just for, Nico Williams not get a pay rise, but to stay on the same money, it's more than double than what we're offering Gittens. And would he offer more than double the output? That's the question. Well, on that, let's look at some stats, okay? So this is his X-Value page, Jamie Gittens. He's a one-to-one explorer, which is precisely the kind of player Maresca likes, a winger that will take on their man. There's loads of recurring themes when we're looking at these Chelsea targets, which shows they actually are looking for something. Remember there was that transfer window where Man United were just looking at everyone and it meant nothing. There was obviously no joined up thinking, and it was like, what are you trying to do here? At least there's recurring themes in this Chelsea recruitment plan. Left-sided, as you can see, good at shooting, but amazing at dribbling and assisting. Passes are not great. Obviously, in the system, that would have to be good. But in terms of the general profile, that is right up Maresca's, and dare I say the Chelsea hierarchy street, because of course, Strasbourg, the academy, it's above the manager, isn't it? Wow, okay, this is going to excite you. Firstly, look at his polar chart. Amazing at dribbles, amazing at expected threats through carries, which is how useful you are with your dribbling. His shooting, a goal added per XG, is pretty strong. He takes high value shots. He's okay. He's in the top 23% for, elite wingers in Europe. He'd want to get that up a little bit, slightly better for non-penalty XG as well. But his chance creation, very, very strong. Sorry, I'm looking at his progression here. His chance creation is strong. Expected offensive value added. But look at this. Look who he's just behind. Or look who he's level with in terms of expected threats from carries. That's right. Michael Elise, the one that got away on the right wing. Who's 24 now. 0.9, 0.8 with Wirtz. In very good company there. Well, he's joint first with Elise. And progression, yeah. I mean, look at this. Expected threats from carry, so that's what it is with Elise. Ain't no better than Gittens and Elise in Europe for that. So an amazing ball carrier. Yeah, he's got 8 non-penalty goals in the league, which from an XG. Oh, hello. Hold on. This isn't very Chelsea. Elite finishing. 8 non-penalty goals from just 4.16. He's like doubling his money here with the chances. So he's an incredibly good finisher, or has been this season when given a chance. Context required. When taking shots, he scores. Maybe Nico Jackson can learn something from him. So let's keep the ball rolling on a little bit of contextualizing here. This is an important video. Yeah, I mean, look. This is FB ref for context. The 99th percentile, he's got 3 metrics. 99th percentile meaning there's like no one better. Yeah. Successful shot creating actions to take-ons. Goal creating actions, take-ons, and successful take-ons. The guy is a dribbler and one of the best in the world at dribbling. Percentage of dribblers tackled, he's in the top 2%. Take-ons, oh my God, over 8 take-ons per game. I mean, even Eden Hazard would look at that and be like, what? So, recurring theme, one of the best dribblers ever. Finally, let's wrap this up by looking at Understat, because this is a great platform for referencing his what he's doing. So this is him this season. Best part of 1700 minutes, let's say. His goals per 90 is 0.43, which, by the way, for a winger is elite, especially for a struggling Borussia Dortmund. So, of course, what we got to do here, we've got to compare it to Sancho, because he's been left winger. Sancho's blue, Gittens is green. Sancho's been significantly more creative with key passes, and that is genuinely something that Sancho needs to be respected for. In fact, he's been more creative across the board. Significantly more for key passes per game, nearly double. Expected assists is better, and assists per 90. So he's more. Sancho's problem, he doesn't shoot more. But for example, apart from key passes, the assists, he's not that far off Gittens. And he's better than everything else, especially, I mean, we need goals in the front line, don't we? Gittens takes over twice as many shots per 90. He gets over twice as many expected goals per 90, and he gets like 3 times the amount, 3 times-ish the amount of goals per 90. So he is a goal-scoring winger comparatively, and of course, they're both just really good at dribbling. But, you know, he looks like the absolute boy when it comes to dribbling. What do I think? I don't hate it. Apparently we've offered, the Sky article is saying we've offered, let me pause so I can find. An offer between 50 and 60 million euros was made. An offer between. So 50 million euros is what, 43 million pounds? Let me just... It's 42.69 pounds. So, yeah, 42 million pounds is not a lot. It's 20 million less than the Michailo Mudryk the upfront payment for Mudryk. And again, you have to think with the Chukwuemeka and, dare I say, Jadon Sancho situation that we have at Chelsea, I do wonder if there is a relationship, because we'll be having meetings with Dortmund, because they do like Carney. Kovac likes Carney Chukwuemeka. Conversations will be had, simply. Or the Chelsea, their general perception of Carney Chukwuemeka, and maybe appropriate, maybe correctly here, is that he's worth a lot of money, or should be in his peak, and they don't want to sell him for like 20 million, because they feel like, you know, in no time at all, there'll be a 50 million player, and that would be like 50 million pound player, and they'll be like, oh, what have we done? But still, if they, you know, just make a little bit of profit on Carney from what they paid for him, and using him as a bargaining chip, could work, could happen. Let me know what you think, gang. I'll be very keen and interested to learn your thoughts on this. Little reminder as well that there is daily content over on the second channel, which is Football Yannick. There it is. There's the widget for that channel. I spoke about Man United today. Been speaking about Arsenal, Man City, all those muggy little clubs. And indeed Champions League stuff and world football stuff. So do go check that out. All right, gang. Hope enjoy the football. I'll see you later. Peace.